Hi guys, I'm back again with yet another video, guys. It's been a while. So as usual, guys, I will be just doing a market breakdown, but I'm hoping that I give you guys more videos this week, Monday to Friday. So if you have subscribed, thank you guys. I just want to say thank you. And if you haven't, please just do me a favor, pause this video, like, and go and subscribe. So as you can see on my right, I have this pairs and one index that I will be focusing, so just so you can be able to take advantage of that, right? And I also hope to bring some more nuggets as I keep going forward. But then some of those I have already analyzed them since the past week, so I will just be browsing through them and show you what's actually going on in there. And then I will begin like from scratch, which is on EURCAD, GBPCHF, and as I go forward. So going into the DXY, for example, on the DXY, if I can just zoom in here, I can just quickly zoom in, right? So we can just quickly go back to the daily time frame. So just so everything becomes clear so that you can understand what's going on in here. So this is what I have on the DXY. We are inside this bigger structure, which is this uptrending market. However, the past is not necessarily going to help us with anything. So it's important for us to just go where the price is at, because that's where we're going to look for opportunities and entries. So as you can see, we had this nice correction to the top, and then we broke out impulsively. So by looks of things, the market is just giving us maybe a retest. So it can go up all the way till there, which is, as you can see, with like the previous three touches, at least by the, or else it may want to go back to that candlestick wick, and there, so any of the two. And then if we go to the 4-hour time frame, right, this is where everything is going to be clear, right? Okay, so as you can see, the importance of that level, right, it's where we might get the retest in. So by now you can see that we have broken out of this descending channel, which is usually a reversal pattern. And then if you look quite closely there, we also had some sort of an inverse head and shoulder, hence the buy. Okay, so usually we know that an inverse head and shoulder is like this, and then breakout, retest, and then the continuation to the upside. So I am more or less anticipating the same thing here. All right, that maybe for today going tomorrow, we might get the retest and the bullish continuation to the upside to give us maybe a third touch, which is the lower high, before actually going to the downside. And if it does that, maybe it will make a lot of sense if it builds up a correction, right? But it does not necessarily have to build it there. If it wants, it can move in higher highs, higher lows, and all of that until it gets there, or even there, right, before actually going to the downside. So that is what I see on. So I still, like, I'm anticipating the dollar strength, right? So still the dollar strength, and then if I can just adjust a little bit back, so you can see that maybe the market might just be wanting to give us a retest. And this, you can see that breakout is nice, it's impulsive. So that's the kind of breakout that you need, because once it becomes corrective, that's where you need to be cautious. But by looks of things, as you can see that we've broken out. Maybe it's just a retesting candle. It may not necessarily come here, but it may just continue going to the top. So in other words, what I see, I still see the continuation of the dollar strength, right? Because this is the DXY. So going into gold, I have already analyzed gold as well, but I'm just going to start on the 4-hour time frame. So as you can see, it's not necessary for me to just bring it all the way back, right? So we can just focus on here, because this is what you need more than me going all the way, right? So if we're treating this as an impulse, so this might be a correction, and then we might go correctively to the downside. Okay, and then as you can see, guys, when the dollar is strong and is the currency on the right, or is the code currency, then that markets tend to sell. Which is, by the same token, when it's gold that's strong, the market is going to push to the upside, for those who does not know. So that is how you use the correlations. And so as you can see here, gold broke out, it gave us a breakout retest, so it moved correctly towards that resistance. So right now, if the DXY really is giving us that retest, so don't be surprised when you see gold pushing a little bit back to the upside, because they are negatively correlated. Okay, so if we look closely there, then you can see that the market gave us a nice head and shoulders over here. Okay, right? And then usually a head and shoulder is like this, a complete head and shoulder breakout, retest the neckline and go to the downside. So we did get the retest, which is this small portion, right? So if gold is to continue going to the downside, we would like to see gold. If maybe this level is not necessary, then we would consider this one, that one, and that one. So we might just be seeing gold building up, maybe a correction, and then continue with the sells to the downside, right? So, or else it might just wanting to retest it there, then go there, and then it would make sense if we would do that, because lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So it might just be going back there to give us a lower high and then go down. And then if the dollar becomes strong, then that will get ourselves. But if the dollar becomes weak, then we might see this retesting, then giving us that, and then going to test that level for one last time before actually going to the downside. So that's what I say. But let's confirm on the 15-minute time frame, because it may not necessarily go back there, right? So you just need to understand, guys, what's going on. In what phase are you in? Are you in an impulse? Are you in a correction? So for example, as you can see, that gold has been moving in impulses and corrections. Okay, so as you can see, as I'm saying, that gold has been moving in impulses and corrections. So in as much as we may get the retest, it may not necessarily go all the way to that level. Okay, it might just build another correction, something like this, and then when it's fully done and complete, then gold might just be wanting to continue with the same type of movement it has been giving us. But that will all depend on the dollar strength, meaning that if the dollar becomes weak, then we will see gold pushing to the upside. But if the dollar continues being strong, we might just be getting a retest there, and then the market could go into the downside. Okay, so just be on the lookout for that, right? So let's move forward now to EURCAD. Okay, so I'm gonna start this one from the beginning, because I didn't want to give you guys a few stuff, but you also need something that you can work with. Okay, so if we drop it to the daily time frame, you can also see that EURCAD has been moving in impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction. Then it finally failed to break below, and then all of that. So as you can see here, we have let me check what's going on the weekly time frame. Okay, so dropping into the weekly time frame, all right, I think I should have started off here. So as you can see, the market broke out of this correction, right, which really took a long time to form. Okay, so this was an impulse move, this is a correction, so this is a breakout, an impulsive breakout. So what is it that we're anticipating next? So this is the 90% rule, right? So if EURCAD is to continue with the selling momentum, it might just be having to come all the way down to complete the 90% rule before actually changing direction. Okay, so this is just for you to understand what is going on based off the higher time frame, right? But each time frame provides you with its particular information. Okay, so if we can now just adjust that and focus on the current price, you would definitely see that we did break out, which is, this was a descending channel, but this is usually a reversal if it's coming from the top, but it's a continuation if it's coming from like this, then down, then up. Okay, so you must be able to differentiate and understand how this pattern works. Okay, so we have now that high, which is, that's the 90% rule of this correction, so we need to put that high, that line over there. And then we might also consider that one because it might be a possible turning point. And then we can also put that one over there as the current high, right? So if we can just erase this for now, because what I see here is a correction. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight that correction just so you can see it clearly, right? So let's go to the 4-hour time frame now, because everything is going to be clear there. Okay, so this is a very nice correction, guys, on euro. I just want to see it a little bit closer, right? Yeah, let's just fix the prices, guys. Right, so guys, here's the what's going on here. If the high that we currently at now of the daily time frame is indeed the one that we should be focusing on, Then based off this current structure, we would like to see EURCAD going all the way there, right? And then as you can see here, we rejected there for like 3 times, which is the market ended up giving us a nice head and shoulder, right? So now let's draw another pattern that I do see over here. You know, sometimes guys, it's important to just draw your trend lines on the wicks of the candles, because sometimes we just need to consider the wicks as part of price action rather not necessarily as traps or whatever. And then when you do that, it just changes your whole perspective or mindset about the market. Okay, yours is just to take advantage of them and also understanding how they work. So as you can see, we have that high and that triple touch there, and then we have these 2 touches at the bottom. So we have this impulse move, then this correction. So we know that, as I told you in the previous video, that once the market approaches a key level correctively, it might just be signaling that it will give us a reversal. Okay, so if that's a true breakout, but what the market does, I will tell you on the 1 hour time frame, okay, as to why I am putting that line over there. So let's drop it to the 1 hours time frame. Okay, so now that we understand what is going on off of the higher time frame, we need to also respect the 1 hour time frame for the information that it's giving us. But at some point, these time frames are all correlated. Okay, what the price is on the daily time frame will also be what the price is on the lower time frames. Nothing is changed on that. So as you can see, guys, we have this impulse move, this nice correction that I'm currently on over here. So what is going on here? The market here, if that's not a retest, it might want to go back there before actually giving us the sales that we are anticipating all the way to the downside. However, if it has broken out already, and that was the actual breakout, which is that breakout candle and then the green one, then that bearish engulfing, and then that might just be what confirms that we will indeed go to the downside. But what the market does sometimes, I wanted to tell you that it does break out and then wants to retest that previous level. I don't know if you would notice that, but you'd see that most of the times there's just that minor level that just likes to be here, and then the market tends to retest it before actually going to the downside, or even when it's going to go to the upside. So EURCAD, guys, looks very nice. Looks very nice. Right. So as you can see here, on the 15-minute time frame, it's not really quite clear, but let's go back to the 1 hour. So as you can see, we broke out there, retested there, and then it's just doing what it's doing now. So you can it just depends on you now as to how do you want to enter it. Whether would you like to see maybe if indeed it's going to go back, or you can maybe see whether it's going to come to that wick of that candle and then start selling there. But whatever that you do, guys, if you take risk management seriously, it's important to find at least those trades that give you like lower risk but higher returns. Okay, so that's the outlook that I have on EURCAD. So the possibility of selling opportunities to the downside. Okay, so let's move now to something else, which is EURUSD. So EURUSD as well, I'm not gonna go all the way deeper, but as you can literally see that we have this nice corrective structure, which is that high, these lows at the bottom, and then we rejected there. But if I could draw a trend line, maybe it would be something similar to EURCAD, right? Something similar to EURCAD, because we're dealing with the euro. So if the dollar persists in being strong, we will see the euro losing strength, right? So the market currently on the 4 time frame has broken out with a nice impulsive candlestick. So if we treat that as the previous high, then let's go to the 1 hour time frame. Because what happened last week is we had that descending structure, then the market inside moved correctively, tested that line, that last high before actually giving ourselves that you can see. So currently, what I see, you can literally see, guys, what I'm talking about. We have those levels, right? Then the market broke out, gave us nice pin bars, and then gave us a bearish engulfing candle. So if EURUSD is indeed going to go to the downside, okay, this is what we might be anticipating. Yeah, all the way there. to complete the 90% rule. So we're looking at something like that's a 9%, close to 10. Okay. So otherwise, if the market has already broken out here, then the sells may just be exactly from there and then go to the downside. But then again, it depends on your entry criteria, whether the requirement or the market is giving you enough information to say, I will now sell or I will now buy. Okay. So that's something that you need to put into consideration. But in terms of how the structure of the market looks like, this smells sells to me. Okay. Then let's go to maybe to the 15-minute time frame, just so we can see what's going on in there. So on the M15, let's see. So breakout retest. So it's kind of stalling at the moment. Nothing is clear, I guess. So yeah, guys. Then let's move to next. Okay, GBP Swiss francs. So I also wanted to give you this one, guys, just so maybe because it looked nice. So yeah. So as you can see, I'm just also gonna start on this time frame, okay? And then we also have that. Right. So now GBP Swiss broke out here. Okay. Really broke out, which is impulse move correction, breakout, retest. So if this is the okay, let me just rather use this. Okay. So impulse move correction breakout, if that's a true retest, then we were looking at the possibility of GBP Swiss going to the upside to complete the 90% row, which is there, right? And then as you can also see that, guys, the market has been moving in higher highs and higher lows, which is impulse move correction, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So if that's a higher low, then we might go to the upside. And then if you look at the type of candle that's being formed over there, that's a pin bar. That's a bullish pin bar. And then we might just be going to the upside. But let's go to the 1 hour time frame just so we can confirm. So impulse move correction, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So I've already said that. And then the market broke out nicely, and then it's just a retesting this level to me by looks of things. So we might really be getting the buys here because impulse move retest, which is impulse correction in other words, a nice bullish engulfing candle. So I'm looking at the possibility of GBP Swiss being a buy and going to the upside. Sorry. So guys, another thing, probably the last one now. So we are on Nasdaq right now. Okay, I'm also not going to start all the way down and everything, but as you can see, this was the analysis from the last week. So as you can see, we had this correction, something similar to Euro USD. So now if the dollar continues being strong, guys, I will repeat this, we might see Nasdaq going to the downside all the way down. All right, because when the dollar is strong, then the stocks tend to lose value, or the companies, whatever. And then when the stocks, like companies, are doing well, then the dollar tends to lose value, right? So that is why when the other one buys, then the other one sells. Okay, but I could get a little more deeper into that as we go forward with these videos. So as you can see, Nasdaq has been moving impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, breakout retest. So currently it's looking to be targeting this support level, which is 11,490.3. And then it will just see the market reaction when it gets here. Or is it gonna buy and then go there? Or is it just gonna break out, retest, which is moving correction until it gets a day? Right. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys for this week. I hope everything made sense here. So if you like and enjoy this video, just give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below if you are looking with any of these pairs, or if you want to add something. But for me, that is it. I will most definitely see you on the next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching.